Okay, time for a bit of meditation. This is not a class, it's just a chance to meditate together. So if you're new to meditation, great, I'll explain what I do. There's lots of different kinds of meditation, this is just what I do. And if you're used to meditating, just hang on while I do that, and we'll get to it. So for me, it starts with why I would meditate, and my intention when I'm meditating is to connect with a place that I connect to every night. I just don't do it consciously. It's the bit I go to after I finish dreaming. So, I go to sleep, thinking, dreaming, and then I drop out the bottom of dreaming. And I'm into this place, this hard to describe place where I have no memory of it. There's no thinking, no body, no country, no house, no stories. I don't know myself at all in the way that I normally know myself. It's kind of like death, or what I imagine death would be. But yet I love going to sleep. I run to it. A lot of people do. And in the morning when I wake up, I feel refreshed. So somewhere I know it's good. So I want to connect with that mysterious place, but when I'm meditating, but to do it consciously. And to get there, I need to kind of part the curtains in my mind to get in there, to get to that place, because there's no thinking when I'm there, and there's no kind of self-reflective awareness when I'm there in the same way like when I'm in that place when I'm deep dreamless sleep. So I have to make a little arrangement with my mind where I sort of say, oh, could you just not think for the next 15 minutes? Which my mind loves the idea of it, loves the idea of meditating, has lots of ideas about it, read about it, it's got concepts about it. So that's good, my mind is on board. And to stop thinking, that's easy enough. Thinking is made up of pictures and sound. It doesn't really matter what you're thinking about or what I'm thinking about, it's still made up of pictures and sound. So to stop thinking, I just turn off the pictures and turn off the sound. That bit's easy. The tricky bit is that my mind is just used to thinking. From the time I wake up till the time I go to sleep, I am just thinking. And I've been doing that my whole life. So to stop thinking for any length of time is really tricky for my mind, because it's so used to it. So it would be a bit like asking my body to stop breathing for 15 minutes. It's that hard for my mind. And I alert you to that because there's easy enough for people to get misconceptions about meditation, that they should be completely calm, completely nothing going on when they're meditating. And that if they're not, if they find themselves thinking, particularly if they find themselves thinking, 2 or 3 or 4 times, they get the feeling that they're doing it wrong, or that they are particularly bad at meditation, or they've got a busy mind. That's something that's said to me. So that's not the case at all. It's just confusing two things: the intention of meditation and the practice of meditation. Because the intention is to go to this mysterious place that I was talking about, that I go to in deep dreamless sleep. And that's the place that gets all the publicity, the calmness and the tranquility and the connection and all that sort of stuff. The practice of meditation is the bit that doesn't get talked about that much, and that is that, in 15 minutes, this 15-minute meditation we're going to do, I might have to bring my mind back to not thinking, to turn off the pictures, turn off the sound. I might have to do that 200, 300, 400 times, which if you were not used to that, or you didn't know about that, you'd feel like you were just doing it wrong. But you're not. You're doing fine. You're doing great. That's the practice of meditation. And you might say, well, I'm just sitting here thinking, what's the difference? Like, this is rubbish. And that's understandable, but there's a couple of very powerful things happening in meditation. First thing is that the fact that you have stopped your day to do meditation is very powerful, because a day has a momentum to it. Without knowing it, you only know you've got the momentum when you want to stop, because then it's like everything clouds up against. What about that email I was going to write? What about the dishes I was going to do? The garden I was going to clean? Or whatever it is, there's always one more thing to do. So the fact that you're going, I'm just going to take 15 minutes to stop, to just pause and focus on something that is perhaps more meaningful, perhaps more profound, maybe a bit eternal. That's very powerful. And then when you're actually the practice of meditation, the fact that you're bringing your mind back over and over again to not thinking has a very powerful effect. Because what happens is, or how it goes is, you start and you'll turn off the pictures, you'll turn off the sound, and then 2 instants later you're thinking about something and you go, all right, I'm thinking, and then you bring your mind back, turn off the pictures, turn off the sound. 2 more instants later you discover you're thinking again. After about 10 minutes, or no, 5-6 minutes, you'll be in the middle of a really, juicy thought that's got your, attention, and you're like, what am I going to do? How am I going to get out of this thing? It's such an important thing to me. If maybe I move that thing over there, I ask that person maybe, and then you kind of go, oh, that's right, I'm meditating, and you turn off the pictures and turn off the sound. That's a very powerful thing, because the instant before you remembered or you realized you were thinking, you were fully immersed in that thought, and you were the thought and the thought was you. It was all about you. And then the next instant you were like, oh, that's right, I'm thinking. I'm just going to turn off the pictures and turn off the sound. Without saying it to yourself, what you've done is you've detached yourself from that thought, and you're now looking at that thought going, oh, that's a thought. I'm thinking. I'm sat down with the intention of meditation, but there I am thinking about. And what you're doing is you're looking at the thought, and without saying anything overtly, you're going, if a minute ago, an instant ago, I thought that was me, but now I'm looking at it and it's a thought. So if I am looking at those thoughts, then I am something else. I'm not those thoughts. I thought it was me, but no, I'm something else. And the fact that you do that like 200, 300, 400 times, that's very powerful. So the feeling of like I'm just sitting here meditating is just that. It's a feeling. The feelings and thoughts are very similar. They just come and go. So as well as all the not thinking, I'm letting go of tension in my body. And because it's just a bit vague in there when I close my eyes, I like to have a system. So I go from my head down to my feet and back up again very slowly. And anywhere I find tension, I let it go. And I'm paying particular attention to anywhere in my body that goes across my body. So my body is a bit like a stream. And anywhere that goes across is a bit like a log lying on the stream. It has a susceptibility to pick up tension. And I use my breath, out breath, to let go tension. So I'm paying particular attention to my eyes, my jaws, my neck, the base of my neck, my shoulder girdle, all my joints, elbows, knees, wrists, fingers, everything like that. My respiratory diaphragm, all my intestines, my pelvic floor. These are all areas that go across, and I'll pay particular attention to those. I set a timer because I don't want to be thinking about how long I'm meditating for, which I would do. If they're gone. Is that 15 minutes yet? I think it must be. So I don't add to my thoughts. I want to give myself the best chance. If you're new to meditation, maybe set a shorter timer and just repeat it. So maybe do 5 minutes and then just do that 3 times. Reason being, it's really a long time if you're not used to it. 15 minutes can feel like an eternity. So yeah. Alright, so if you've got any questions, feel free to ask them. I'm not saying I'm going to be able to answer them, but feel free to ask them. Or if you want to sort of share how your practice is going, feel free to share that as well. Right, so let us get going. Okay, so 15 minutes, off we go into the mystery. Alright, so thanks very much for meditating with me, and yeah, maybe see you tomorrow for some more meditation. Or maybe you want to come to the Zoom group on Friday, have a look in the, below, you'll see what that's all about. Below or above, yeah, show notes. You're welcome, James. Bye. Bye, everybody. See you.